Bonjour. Today we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about funnels and we're going to talk about love.
No, it's not up for debate. Gotta be you if you wanna be great. Gotta stay true through all of the hate.
So let's start with funnels, acquisition funnel.
Funnel, yeah. So funnel, it's all over the place on the internet. If you're in marketing, there's everybody talks about funnel, and rightfully so. In a way, if you want to grow at some point, you need to have a funnel. But I think the key thing is that funnel is something that you build, and usually the way to start attracting your first customers is pretty manual.
So hold on. Just for people who don't know what a funnel is, right? We're talking about acquisition funnel. So at the very highest layer, there's people, hearing about your product through a marketing campaign or whatever.
Yeah.
Click-through rate, landing on your website.
Exactly.
Right?
Some of them are going to take some action, and some of them, the first action, they're going to go on your website. They're going to read some information.
Yeah.
Then many of them will leave, and then some of them will come back like 3 days after and take action, etc.
Yeah.
So this whole layering of customers, at the top of the funnel, you have a lot of people who don't know too much about you usually, and then the more you go down the funnel, the more you have actual buyers that are going to click to add to cart or whatever it is you have to sell. So that's the whole funnel, and it's good practice to think funnel. Because if you launch a marketing campaign or whatever that is not in your marketing funnel, is just gonna live in standalone. And you're not gonna be able to measure. You're gonna be able to measure the impact that this tactic has in your revenue. So funnel, that's very simply that's that. But I think the subject that we wanted to talk about today is there's this counterintuitive thinking, which is, okay, I have this funnel, so if I want to have more revenue at the bottom, I need just to
throw in more people.
Exactly, right? And
which I think is the worst way of doing it.
Yeah. Well, at
least in the beginning, right?
Yeah, exactly. So back to the point earlier, when you build your funnel, it's not something that comes out all shiny and out of the blue. So that's something you have to build, right? So when you start, you start by signing one customers and two customers, and usually that's pretty manual. And I think what we're discussing the other day is pick up the phone, try to sign and talk to the first few customers you have. Doing that, you're showing love to your customers. So we're going to talk about that, but you will start building your funnel. And the thing is, if you want to grow at some point, you first have to fix all of the leaks in the funnel before actually throwing in more traffic on top of the funnel. So the whole point is that you have to reverse engineer your funnel.
Start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Find out what people really love about your product, right? Why they're using it.
Yeah.
Like the first, and what you're saying about talking to people initially, doing your market research. So one thing about that, right? It's a great idea to talk to your potential clients when you start out, but don't talk to 5 people and think you're done.
Yeah.
Right. So what I see a lot of, I think it's the same for you, is that you get people and that they've spoken to maybe 20 people and they think they understand the market.
Yeah.
Whereas I think it's a great challenge to talk to an uncomfortable number of people. To the point where you're really stretching yourself in because you're talking to 100, 150, 200 people.
And the more people you're going to talk to, the more you will have to adapt to them and not vice versa. So there's this bias, which is, you talk to 15, 20 people and you sort of...
you're done.
You hear what you want to hear, basically.
Checklist, done.
As soon as you start trying to find more people, there will be less, they will be... They won't be their friend, you won't be your friend, etc. So the whole point is the more people you talk to, the more distant they will be. So the more you will have to adapt to them. That's where, you will have to make the effort. You will have to adapt your speech, your messaging, whatever, whatever is it you have to tell and sell in the end. I think it's very easy to talk to like 20, 30 people.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah.
Hear what you want to hear, but as soon as you want to reach out to 50 people, 70 people, 80 people, first it's going to take some time, so you need to have the discipline to do it. and then you will reach out to people you have no clue who they are, what their problem are.
And they
so
have no invested interest in agreeing with you.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
So if I ask
Not
my
even
mom,
listening to you,
right?
yeah.
I have an amazing company. She loves my startup. If I ask you, you're gonna partially agree with me, right? Social pressure, even if you don't want to.
Yeah.
If I ask a guy I've never met, but who has the problem and I'm trying to solve, that I'm trying to address, he's much less likely to agree with me just because I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So anyway, so I think that's how you built your business in the first place,
Yeah.
right? Talk to people, understand where are they coming from, where do they eat, and whatever the business you're in, even if you're in B2B or whatever, just understand the overall context of your potential buyers, understand their problems, and this is how you're going to build your business and then your funnel. But if you want to say, okay, so I have this funnel, and you say, okay, I have typically a web traffic of X visitors a month, whatever. You try to do the math, your conversion rates, etc., your click-through rates, and then the typical mistake is, okay, I have this traffic, this conversion rate. So if I have, if I want to have more at the bottom of the funnel, I just need to add more at the top of the funnel.
And you don't know where people are going.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you have like 10 visitors a month on your website. And you have one customer every month signing up. Well, just try to have 2 signing up instead of 1. Don't try saying, okay, I want to have 1,000 visitors a month, because then with my current conversion rate, I'm going to have 100 signups.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the whole thing. Always think reverse engineering your funnel. Start from the bottom. And I think it's something we talked about earlier. It's all about retention.
Yeah, I mean, it's massively retention is. This is gonna sound weird, but I think retention is massively undervalued. I think some people are just happy to get new clients. Then they go, oh, well, people churn.
Yeah,
right? Sure, people churn, but the rate at which people churn depends on your product, right? It depends on whether or not.
Well, yeah. So I'm going to push back on that. It depends on your product. Depends on a lot of it's much broader than just the product, right? The way you talk to them, so the way But so the product obviously is at the core, at the core of it. But yeah, you have to. What I'm saying, I guess, is it's not because you have a great product that people will use it.
Right.
So
Especially, it's not because you think you have a great product.
Yeah, exactly.
That people will use it.
So what are we saying here? The whole retention is the heart of the growth. So if you want to grow at some point, first, focus on retaining the existing customers you have. Even if you have 1 or 2, just make sure that they don't leave. And then there's this figure, in the B2B SaaS model. There's been studies that say that it's 40 times more costly to acquire a new customer.
40?
Yeah.
To acquire?
To acquire a new customer than to sell to an existing customers.
Right.
So that gives you an idea if you want, because obviously the cost of acquiring a new customer, it's going to cost you time. It can cost you money if you want to create content or do paid media, whatever. That means money, and so yes, it's great to have new customers, but again, especially if you're starting up, if you have 2 customers, try to focus on these guys and sell more to the same people, and that's and you'll be much better off.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. And that comes out of reverse engineering your funnel and putting customer love at the heart of it.
Customer love.
Customer love. No, but really, that's it. It's customer love. It's like if you're starting out, it's getting fans, right? You want fans, not clients. Because you're not, listen, your product isn't going to be done yet. You're not going to be perfect, so you want fans. If you're growing, you really need to understand what the client wants and why he churns. Understand why even if you have a service business, for example, right? That's a counterintuitive example because people are always talking about product and SaaS solutions for churn. When you have a service business and someone doesn't sign up with you for a second year, for example, if it's some sort of subscription-based service, pick up the phone to get back to what you were saying before. Talk to the guy, right? Find out why you're apparently not adding enough value.
Yeah, it's a great example, and that's really the job of the CEO. So it's not even a marketing job, but if you have like 100 customer and there's one that is not renewing his subscription, or one that's not he doesn't want to talk to you for whatever reason, the whole company has to say, whoa, hold on, we need to understand not why the 99 other customers are going to renew their subscription, but really why this one guy, he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Why is that? And that's the job of the CEO. I think, as a CEO, you just pick up your phone and you go talk to the guy and say, can I have a coffee with you and talk to you? You don't want to renew your subscription. Why is that? Is the product not good enough? Is it too expensive? What's the problem?
And everybody's gonna agree with that, and nobody will execute on it. There's very few people actually. Everybody's gonna say yes. It's a great idea to find out why people don't resubscribe, why people churn. Almost no one picks up the phone. Almost no one takes that meeting to grab a cup of coffee because it's uncomfortable, right? Yeah.
Because it's uncomfortable, and also I think because there's in digital marketing, it's so easy to just hide behind your dashboard and then think that these are the customers. The customers are the dashboard. I have a conversion rate of 3% of my ad. Wow, that's great. No, just think about the 97%. We talked about that before. Think about the 97% of the people who don't care about your ads.
Yeah, so the majority of the people who don't care. Yeah. And you mentioned something interesting earlier of adding a second call of action, for example, when you're emailing, for example, right? Like trying to bring it back to discussion of finding out why people aren't interested. Which have a very interesting idea, adding a second call of action instead of people just reacting positively, saying, yes, I want to sign up. Yes, I want to go to your website. Add a button saying no.
No, I don't. I think it's a great idea. So whatever you're doing, you send an email into your customer. You do nurture emails, whatever. I think it's pretty interesting to precisely do this, having in mind my purpose, my goal with this campaign is to understand the people who don't want to talk to me or who don't want to renew. If you have customers who don't want to renew their subscriptions or don't want to buy from you anymore, you have to know it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So look for these guys, right? Selling more to the existing customers, that's important, but reaching out to the few people who don't want you anymore for whatever reason, it's a gold mine. So adding a second call to action in your nurture emails or whatever. Read more. Well, okay, but no, I don't. No, I don't give a fuck. Just don't bother. And then you measure. You track these guys, and hopefully you're not going to have too many of them.
Yeah.
And then if you have like 5 people who explicitly told you, no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't. Just leave me alone. Well, I think you should pick up the phone and try to talk to them. Yeah.
Because that's the thing. You should understand why. You should always try to understand why. And that's why we bring it back to customer love, right? About finding fans and really understanding and going into a dialogue with your customers.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And that's, so pretty good point, which sort of brings back to the content marketing strategies.
Yeah.
Because obviously, in a pure SaaS model, when you sell something like Netflix, you subscribe to Netflix, and it's a pure subscription model because you watch Netflix every week, whatever. The
pure data driven, in terms of understanding.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But we talked about the camera. We both taking pictures, so we have expensive cameras. But obviously we bought once every 10 years. So what does it mean for a camera manufacturer to retain us as customers? Obviously, they're not going to shoot us email on all of these new fancy cameras that they have, whereas we just bought a new one last month. So content marketing is a way to just try to engage with your existing customers in a conversation, right?
And engage
about
really
topics,
engage.
about subjects, not products, but not products and features, but about try to entertain them, educate them.
And you
on
have to
photography
because
in this
you have
case.
to because content marketing is about added value. It's about adding value. It's about establishing a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and
about
and
doing.
this is about retention. So if you're
Yeah.
typically in a Netflix kind of business, obviously the way to retain your customers is very, very different. If you're Canon or Nikon
Yeah.
or whatever camera brand, then retention is very, very different. Probably more difficult, I would say.
Let me Let me give you an example because we're gonna have to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
Let me give you a last example of that on retention, customer love. So I was in insurance before, a very big French insurance firm. One of the big issues there was artificial intelligence, right? How is it going to disrupt the industry? And I had a very strong belief that AI, the only way we should leverage AI was to make our clients love us at scale. To make
love
them,
it.
to do everything that we can to make them love us and not churn and not just disappear into the night when something happens, which in insurance is very often at the moment when they need you, when you do claims and stuff.
We should probably talk about this in
make
another
your
episode.
make your
but,
customers love you at scale. That's your mission.
Yeah.
That's your mission.
So this was all about love.
It's all about love.
All about love.
Talk soon.
See you guys.